He said things like restoring transparency around them. It's not really clear what that means. Why do you think there's a decline in vaccination?
I think there's two pieces to it. I think when we talk about things in public health, we don't acknowledge the concerns. Because when my children went to school, there was maybe 1 in 1,000 kids with autism, diagnosed autisms. Now it's 3 per 100. So every mom is seeing a classroom of kindergartners where one of the children has autism. That's scary to moms and dads. They want to know why. So it's not good enough for us to just say vaccines don't cause autism. It's us finding what is the cause of autism
well, I think
and
a lot of
reverse
people
it.
would absolutely agree that it is ridiculous that there isn't a lot of research and established causation of autism. But what he has said in the past is that autism is caused by vaccines. And there's no scientific basis for that conclusion, as I understand it.
That's correct. And so that's why when he talks about transparency, I'm actually excited that in a Senate hearing, he would bring forward his data and the questions that come from the senators would bring forth their data. What I know for sure is he's a very smart man who can bring his data and his evidence base forward, and we can have a discussion that many Americans believe already is a problem. So until we can have that transparency and that open discussion from both sides, I know the members have incredible staffers who will bring great questions from their constituents, and that hearing would be a way for Americans to really see the data that you're talking about, that we can't see that causation right now, but what is causing it? And so you're absolutely right. Addressing what the cause is will be critical. And I think what has confused people is we weren't clear about what COVID vaccines do and don't. And so now people are questioning, well, what do my childhood vaccines do and don't? And they don't understand that some of the vaccines that their children are getting protect them from both disease and create herd immunity. And some of them that they get are just for their child, like H-flu and Pneumovax, to protect their child from getting very serious illness. And we're just not explaining all of this correctly.
Well, and that's why the messenger matters so much on this, which is why his past statements are being scrutinized. You worked on AIDS for a good part of your career. He has said that he doesn't take a position on the relationship between HIV and AIDS, but then he laid out alternative theories in his book and said Dr. Fauci never produced a study to demonstrate his hypothesis using accepted scientific proof. Do you agree with that assertion on HIV and AIDS?
Well, having spent a career in understanding how HIV and AIDS progresses, HIV virus is the cause of AIDS.
Period.
There's a whole set of things that happen, and I think what HIV taught me is it's asymptomatic for 10 years. And we're finally recognizing how important asymptomatic disease progression and disease transmission is. That's what HIV taught us. But what other HIV taught us was the entire human immune system. So by investing in HIV research, we learned about CAR T cells that we use today in cancer. So a lot of these research and investments pay off in other areas. And I think once he's there at HHS, he'll see that.
If he's open to the data. Dr. Birx, thank you. We'll be right back.